Mm. Sorry about that. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sense of Humor's podcast, where we talk anything pop culture or anything that interests us. We're your hosts, Griffshock, and I'm here with my buddy, Multimite, or Tyler. I also forgot to say my name's Travis. I'm
What's
sorry.
up?
Um, we usually start with a bit of small talk. So, how's work going for you today?
Um, Pretty good. I mean, it was a little bit longer than I wanted. I was technically supposed to be off at 2:30, but a couple of the guys called out today, so I stuck around because Saturdays and Fridays are typically our busiest days, so didn't want them to be screwed over after I left.
Well, that's nice of you.
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of bothers me because we know one of them bailed for like someone has them on Snapchat and they're able to see where they're located, and they were
Mhm.
not they were not where they said they were. So
Uh-oh.
yeah, so
Um. What else would you like to talk about before we get to the topic?
honestly, I'm down for anything. I mean, how are you? I know you're planning on quitting at some point, but how's work going other than that?
Work for me is going decently well. Today we were pretty jam-packed. I had like 30 minutes to relax, and that was in the beginning of the shift. Um, Other than that, I mean, I work tomorrow. I'm the only person, like the only porter that works tomorrow.
Mm.
So, it's gonna suck, but I did all the cars that are supposed to go out tomorrow already, so I don't have to like worry about stressing about them too much or try to get it done or whatever. So got everything done. It did kind of suck because the salesman, every time they wrote it up on the board for a car going out tomorrow, they looked at me and the other guy and they're like, "Good luck for whoever works tomorrow." And they kept saying it over and over every card they wrote down. I
Oh,
didn't let it get
jeez.
to me. Yeah, it was annoying. It's kind of a dick move that they did, but I just kind of brushed it off my shoulder. I just wouldn't let it get to me. There's no point. Um, but I kind of just got everything that I needed to get done in time, and um, so tomorrow shouldn't be too much of a headache. Um, but other than that, no, work's going pretty good for the most part.
That's good. And then, how's your plans for moving going? Are you guys gonna delay it a bit, or are you gonna keep pushing forward for that expected date to be over there?
Um, It kind of varies. It kind of depends if I get, well, for them, they don't know. I might be getting a new job that pays really well. So if I get that, we'll probably stay up here for a tad bit longer to build up some extra cash. Um, she's getting her taxes returned, and then I'm gonna file mine. And if I don't get the job, we might just use our tax money to move down, get an apartment, and then get a job um, and just get down earlier. But if we get a good paying job up here, I know it kind of makes no sense, but like we're just gonna stay up here for a little bit longer and build up more cash than we originally have. So,
No, I feel like that makes plenty sense, and it's kind of smart that way because, I plan on moving out maybe in a month or so, but um, I want to save up for at least, I don't know, a few months of rent in case I lose my job out of nowhere. But
hmm
so yeah, I'll hopefully be moving out in, I don't know, a month or two, maybe less.
Are you nervous about that or?
Not really. Like I'm more so excited because of the opportunities. Like one of the guys that I'm moving in with, he's a coworker, and he used to do like YouTube and streaming and stuff. So I was looking forward to getting like some tips and stuff from him on like what I can do to be better, I guess, in a way, but
Okay.
also like give him ideas on like kind of like what I want to do and if he has any advice or whatnot. But yeah, no. And then he said his roommates are pretty chill as well. Like I mean, like he's a really good friend, so um like I got to know him over the past like year. He
Hmm.
came in like a few months after I did, after I joined or so. But you know, he's a pretty cool guy, and I found out he had a extra room, and I asked if I could, like, if I was able to, I'd be able to move out with him, and he said yeah. Like,
Oh, sweet.
and yeah, I'm looking forward to it for sure. So I'm hoping it some point comes to fruition.
Well, if it did come to, I don't know that word. I don't know how to say that properly. My dyslexia would kill me. Um,
Fair enough.
but when I moved down to Virginia, or I don't care if
Hmm.
they don't know that. I don't care. Um, I told my fiance, I said I want to take her back to where we are originally from, and show her the areas and like the places that we both grew up at, or obviously it's different, but like the general areas. And if you're still living with him or living there or whatever, it would I be able to visit?
Yeah, of course. Like, I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
I don't know if we'd have room exactly for you to like stay overnight,
Well,
but
yeah, but
you could
that's
definitely come and visit for sure. Yeah. Heck, if I was still in my parents' house, I would still have you visit because, yeah, no, it'd be good to see you, especially in person.
well, that's a good. I'm glad that I'd still be able. I mean, I don't. We're not. I'm not asking to like stay, but like just to like visit or like hang out or whatever. But
Yeah. And I kind of figured you meant that, like, in terms of, like, yeah, like what you, or, um, where you wanted to stay or whatnot. Like, kind of figured you'd, probably have a place in mind.
yeah, I was probably just gonna get like a hotel room somewhere. But um,
Yeah.
okay. Let's get to today's topic.
Sounds good to me. Kind of wish
Today's.
I wore a different skin, to be honest, now that you bring it up, but
I know. I thought I had one set for it, and then I guess this one came out, but I'm like, it's all right. It'll do, I guess. But today's topic for you guys who don't know is going to be anime, or our like favorite animes, or stuff like that. Just like I personally, I mostly want to talk about it because I personally want to get more into it. I know you know way more about it than I do. But
I mean,
I just wanted to get more into it.
yeah, and I mean like it's a fun genre of like entertainment and whatnot. Like I definitely agree with you there. But yeah, no, I honestly only know like not even a handful. Like I could probably count the amount of animes I've watched on one hand, but yeah, no, kind of like you, I do want to like explore cuz like it's just a version of storytelling really, and I think a lot of people forget that. Like they think it's just like some obscure like way or like obscure genre that like a small handful of people watch, but no, like it's grown in popularity for sure like over the years, but also just like it's a way of storytelling. Like I don't think there's anything that makes me more mad than someone saying like, oh, cartoons are for kids, and I'm like, you've seen shows like Rick and Morty, right? Like that's a cartoon. So like
Hmm.
how would you explain that other than that's just a form of storytelling? Like hell, like I've wanted to do like an animated show or something like along those lines. Kind of like I don't know if you saw what the Vanos crew did, like with Alpha Betas.
I have not.
So Alpha Betas is a show that they made like as a friend group. Like it was only four of them that like voiced the main characters. I don't know how many of them were actually like involved in the project or whatnot, but I know for a fact like they spent so much time on it, and unfortunately I think they've canceled it because it didn't get as many like as much attention as they would have wanted it. And they also didn't get to do a whole lot with the creativity because I guess they had some restrictions or whatnot. Um, but
Hmm.
and that's all just now coming out, I guess, like in terms of like what happened. But the actual show released in like or the what's it called, the pilot episode came out in like 2021, and then I think they finished it in 2022 or 2023. But anyway, kind of going back onto topic in terms of anime though, like what did you have in mind?
Um, is correct me if I'm wrong. Is Invincible anime or is that just like a cartoon style?
I think that's just animated, but it is, from what I've heard, a pretty good show. So,
Okay. So I've definitely seen Naruto, not all the way through. I know, I keep saying I'll finish it, but I never completely get to do it. Um, and then I seen the live action of One Piece, and seen like a little bit here and there about it.
hmm.
I've seen a couple episodes here and there, but like it's super long, and I'm just like I'm not. If I can't finish Naruto, I can't finish that. You know?
Yeah, and I mean the problem for me with shows like oh, let's go friggin' One Piece is it's still going. And I mean technically yes, Naruto is still going too, but that's only if you count Boruto, but me personally having watched like the first season as well as I don't know, like maybe the first few episodes of season 2, I didn't enjoy it. Like I don't like what they did with Boruto, who's the son of Naruto,
Hmm.
and I don't know. It's just, in my opinion, it's not a good show. I know a lot of people will like remind me that it gets better as you continue to watch it, but I don't know. Like I feel like I enjoy shows that start off solid and get more solid as it keeps on going. Cause like if you start out crappy, like I'm not gonna want to keep watching it after the fact. Like to force myself to get through all the crap just to get to the good part. I don't know. It just doesn't seem worth it to me.
Yeah, I completely get that.
Yeah. Like I mean, even Naruto, like at first, like the first like few episodes, like I wasn't, or I was drawn into it, but like it was because it started off like right off the bat like being super emotional, and you kind of get to learn a little bit more about Naruto and why he's an outcast and stuff, and I don't know, I really liked that. Like I liked
The
the
backstory.
progression. Yeah. Like his progression of a character, and then Shippuden like kind of builds off of that. Like it almost gave us like it's almost like the prequel trilogy and the Clone Wars. Like the prequel trilogy, like 1 and 2, like obviously it's kind of like in its own boat, and then like in between 2 and 3, like you got the Clone Wars, and it builds like all these background characters and even like the characters that are like the stars of the movies, and it just like it builds that world more than what we got to see on the big screen, but also um, it adds more characters and more character depth for the background characters, which is kind of fun because you get to like you fall in love with those characters that some people might not know because they've only watched the movies. So like you can like point out your favorite character from the show and they're like who the heck is that? Like and I'm like, "Oh, you have to watch Clone Wars to even understand." And like and I mean that's not saying for everything, but like I feel like Shippuden does that in a way, but where more so it just like it gives you even more backstory as well as like pushing the story forward so you learn even more details than you did before and then like some speculations are confirmed or denied or whatever, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, I think Naruto and Naruto Shippuden are like is a solid series. If you count them as one series, then it's a solid series as a whole. um and then I would say the same about My Hero. I know a lot of people are iffy on it because of the community and whatnot. But you know what? You don't have to be a part of that community to watch the show. Like,
What is the community? Because I don't. If you feel comfortable saying it, but
I'm just
I.
gonna say it like they're weird. Like,
Oh,
and
okay.
they throw people off. And I mean, I've heard some stuff that the community talks about and does, and I'm like, okay, well, I can see why that would like push people away from the show. But not everyone in
Hmm.
the community is like that. Like I didn't necessarily join the community, but I did enjoy watching the show. I admittedly spoiled the ending though, unless they change it, but I spoiled the ending that kind of puts a sour taste in my mouth and I just like I don't want to finish it anymore because in my opinion it doesn't end well, but it does like it has a happy ending but not like the happy ending that I wanted. So
Oh yeah.
so it's just one of those like stories, but it's still a pretty solid show, and I plan on going back and finishing it at some point because I think the last or second to last season's out right now, and it's almost done. And then that kind of brings me to like shows like One Piece where it's still going, so
Hmm.
I have no desire to watch it or even try catch up. So
No, I don't. Like I thought, like I like the idea of it because it's like pirates, and I love pirates, and it's like an anime, and I'm like that's really cool. But then
yeah.
I've seen so many different things of Hero Academia. Like I've seen stuff come out in stores, and I'm like, wow, that looks really cool. What is that? And I go Hero Academia. I don't know anything about that. I don't want it because like I'm not gonna buy something that I don't know just because it looks cool. Um, like I'd like to understand the concept. That's why, because I've been going to this store called Box Lunch.
Oh,
Um,
dude, I love box lunch. It's like the child of Hot Topic, like
yes,
still has good stuff and everything.
yeah, and like they always have like that little anime section, and I always go over there, and I'm like, oh wow, this looks really cool, but I'm like, I don't know that anime, but I wish I did.
Yeah, I think you'd enjoy it because it's superhero themed, and I'm a huge fan of superheroes. Literally, my channel's marketing and branding is superhero themed. So, and I don't know between Naruto and My Hero, though, I would say My Hero or Naruto is probably my favorite between those two. And like I said, I could probably count the number of animes like I've actually watched. And like, I mean, I haven't gone through all of them, but I have gone through enough to where I'm like, okay, this isn't for me. I'm sure it's one of those scenarios like, oh, it gets better as time goes on. It's like, okay, but I can it not just be, you know, draw me in from the get go? But I don't know. And then there's also the dilemma of whether or not like some shows like they have the manga or anime art style but aren't considered animes because they weren't made in Japan or something. Like I don't know the full details on that, but I do know like some people will like argue like, "Oh, that's not anime or that is anime." Like and I could probably even look up the answers now, but um I'll let you talk some more before I get into that.
Okay. Um, I don't know. Okay, so I'm not super far into Naruto. I'm only season 5, episode, what is it? 17. So I'm not super far. I'm kind of like in the middle. Um, I'm really excited to finish it because I don't know. I just love the art style of Naruto. I think like my main thing is like when I grew up with like other shows, everyone was like into Naruto or into like anime or whatever. And I'm like, oh, that's so stupid. But that's because I was going based off of like popularity or what people were saying. I wasn't actually giving it a fair shot or a fair chance. I also just hated watching shows where it's not naturally in English, so like their lips don't match up with the words they're saying.
Yeah.
But I finally moved out on my own, or no, I was still living with my parents when I started watching it, but I started watching it. I'm like, wow, the art style is absolutely beautiful. Like it seems so like everything flows super well, and you can still see the leaves blowing and hair blowing like it's actually like it's not anime. It doesn't look anime. It feels realistic, but it's not at points. And I just love that type of art style. So I was like, if I like Naruto, maybe I'll like other ones. 'Cause back in high school, our buddy Alex was super into anime, and he watched or like Tokyo Ghoul,
Yeah, I
and
do remember that one.
yeah, and we watched that for a little bit here and there, and then we went to go see it in the movies, and then with Garion as well. I remember watching my first anime. I think Garion was the very first person I watched anime with. I think it was his birthday. We watched Seven Deadly Sins.
Mm.
And well, he put it on, and I was like, this is kind of weird, but it's his birthday, so I'll watch it. And then I started to get into it really, really quick, and I'm like, oh, like Gary, can I watch this at home? And he goes, yeah, he's on Netflix. I go, oh, okay. So I went home and I started watching it more, and I liked Seven Deadly Sins and Tokyo Ghoul were my top ones, and then Naruto came out, and that just topped it all. But I want more of like that like family friendship fighting for each other type anime styles.
Yeah, I that's the other thing about Naruto is it's very emotionally connected. Like people can like, cry about like, oh, the battles take too long. And I get that. Like the episodes do drag on in terms of like how long a fight is, but it's
Yeah.
because like they're trying to express like the you know the like emotion all the characters are feeling behind the behind the fight, because some people in the show like they don't actually want to fight or they don't know why they're fighting or whatever have you, but at the end of the day, like it's just the emotion is what really draws me in, and like the how do I put this? I don't know, but they basically what I'm trying to say is because the characters are so emotionally invested, I'm emotionally invested in the
Oh,
characters, and
okay.
like their expressiveness and their, well, besides
Makes
like
you feel
two of the
like one of them.
characters. Yeah, like I feel like I'm a part of the crew, like I'm understanding their pain as they talk about it and everything. And I get it. I get Sasuke lost his entire village, but gosh dang, he is such an asshole and I hate him.
Right.
Like he is the worst character in that freaking show besides Sakura. And people can fight me on that. Sakura is also a terrible character. All right,
No,
they
I,
were
I
terribly written.
I
I don't
agree.
know. I know a lot of people will like come at me for that, but I really hate that duo with a passion. Like they're just the worst and they're so miserable and they take it out on Naruto and it just pisses me off cuz I like Naruto as a character. Call him overpowered, but at least he's not like Goku overpowered. Like he's
Yeah, yeah. He's
I don't
overpowered
know.
to a point where it makes sense, not overpowered where it's like that's a bit excessive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I agree. Like everyone loves Sasuke so much, and I'm just like I understand like the concept behind it. Like, yeah, his power's kind of cool and all, but like Naruto has a literal nine-tailed fox inside of him, like in a cage.
well, I
You
was gonna
know.
say, and like that doesn't even bother me either though. Like I do admire like the ability to copy another person's jutsu and all. Like I think that's cool, but that's not why I dislike Sasuke. Like I dislike him because, like Naruto was trying to be a friend because, like he didn't grow up with a family or anything either. Like, or well, I guess Sasuke did for like the first few years of his life, but they were both alone. And I think it kind of points this out in both the original Naruto show and Shippuden. But like, there are moments where they want to like spend time together as friends, but jealousy and whatever else gets in between that, and
Hmm.
Naruto's not completely innocent in all that either. But at the end of the day, he's like, Sasuke is my best friend. He always was, just like, and I mean, like, I don't know if I would attest to that on his behalf either. Like, I don't know if I would consider Sasuke Naruto's best friend. If anything, Shikamaru is like Naruto's best friend, but that's besides the point. Like he was being a friend to
Like
Sasuke
it's just
even when he was pushing him away. Like
yeah, it's like
so.
he grew up in training with him, and I feel like it's more of like a like yeah, it's kind of like a little friendship bond, but it's also more of like the same relationship like Joker and Batman have. Like they've always competed. Well, I guess not. They don't really compete, but it's like in the show they always compete for like trying to be better or trying to prove who's stronger and trying to prove that like oh I'm better than you and no I'm better than you and then they go back and forth. So it's kind of like a non-stop like
Yeah, they
pardon my French, but dick
definitely.
size competition, you know?
Yeah, and I mean they are 100% rivals, absolutely. But I think again at the end of the day, like what matures and makes Naruto my favorite of that trio, or if you even include Kakashi, I think I would say Kakashi's my. Well, I don't know,
Hmm.
cause like I feel like
I like
Kakashi and
Kakashi.
Naruto is like super like neck and neck in terms of like who's my favorite between those two. But
I like
yeah, no, like
Kakashi more.
when it comes down to it, like Naruto matures in a weird way. Like I don't know how to put this without like wording it wrong, but like, and people will know what I'm talking about because like even in Shippuden, like he says no to the girl he's liked since he like found out about liking girls and everything because
Hmm.
she wasn't being honest with herself or him, like, and he knew that wasn't right, and like he wanted to be with her but he knew that that wasn't like that she didn't actually love him, like
Um,
she wanted a replacement for Sasuke, like,
yeah.
so, and I don't
She
know,
kind of
like,
she kind of used him as like fill an empty space real quick.
exactly. And I mean, and he didn't want to be the rebound either. He wished she genuinely loved him as he loved her. But at the end of the day, like he ends up with who he's supposed to be with, and she ends up with, I guess, who she's supposed to be with. Even though, I don't know. I don't like. I don't like Sasuke or Sakura. I've already expressed that, and I'm not going to say why again, but I just don't like them.
It's like the thing about the show is like awesome. Like my I guess like dyslexia or something like messes with it because like their names kind of sound familiar in a way,
Mhm.
and so like it's so hard to always memorize who's who. Like Naruto, I know Naruto. And then you got Sasuke and some other ones that sound similar. It just I don't know. It just messes with my brain.
Yeah, no, I definitely get that. I think like some of the characters share similar names with like their parents. Like I think Shikamaru, the Shadow Jutsu guy, I think him and his dad share a very similar name.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't remember what it was, but yeah, no, like they're very similar. I think Choji and like his parents also had a similar thing, or so it was something along the lines, or like Rock Lee and then Guy Sensei, like they both
Mm.
have like very bland names, but like you can tell they're not related, but like they have an association with each other. Like I mean,
Yeah.
obviously because Rock Lee like idolized Guy Sensei, but yeah, no. And I can understand why a lot of people like him. Like I know a lot of people's favorite character is Rock Lee, funny enough. And I can see it cuz he's a hilarious character.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's very funny.
I personally
Um
like Rock Lee. Like he's cool.
I was going to say like he couldn't do jutsus or genjutsus, I think. And but he
Yeah.
could learn taijutsu, which was like all martial art based, and I thought that was pretty cool. So
Yeah, it's like he's the like most normal like he's like if we were in the show, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
he's
that's why I liked it because it felt like I was like I could be Rock Lee in the show, you know?
yeah. I mean, like I don't know if well maybe it's not as exaggerated as I think, but did you get to the part where he fought Gara, the sand
Hmm.
guy? Like when he fights Gara and he takes off the weights off of his feet and he drops them and it just makes two big explosions in
Hmm.
the ground and then he
Hmm.
it just shows how fast he freaking is and like I thought that was a pretty cool part. Like I was like holy crap. Like he not only like trained like cuz like he comes off as the annoying like pestering,
Nerdy guy.
yeah, like the very, competitive guy because like he was trying to one up like I think it was Sasuke at the time,
Yeah, because he wanted what's her name?
Sakura. Like yeah,
Sakura.
he
Yeah.
had a thing for Sakura, but like he comes off that way at first, but then you see that scene and I'm like, okay, he's in a completely new light for me. Like especially when they get
Hmm.
to the scene where like he's, trying to heal from the damage that Gara caused and everything, like, and he ends up walking again and training to be the best again. Like I don't know, it's he's definitely a very inspirational character, even as goofy as he is. Like I think that's kind of the point to balance it out. Is like yes, he's goofy, but he's also just like a broken character, like a lot of the other ones. Like
Yeah.
and I think that's the thing about a lot of the characters is they're built from their tragedies and you see who's the strongest by like like Naruto. He builds friendships even though he was told to be like resented and to be hated or feared of because he had
Yeah.
the nine-tailed fox. But then I can't remember if it was in Shippuden or Naruto because I don't want to spoil like a whole lot for you.
Yeah.
But there's this really emotional scene where it shows Kid Naruto like being left alone on the playground, and Shikamaru, young Shikamaru, like asks his dad. He's like, "Why does everyone not like him?" And he's like, well,
Mm.
I mean, what does it matter? Like, do you like him? Like, do you think he's cool or whatever? And he's like, yeah, I do. I like hanging out with Naruto. And he's like, okay, then hang out with Naruto. Like, don't care what other people think. And that was like, Naruto's first friendship and everything. And, that was a very, like, almost touching scene because it's like, well, you know, everyone rejected him, but Shikamaru noticed the difference and he's like, well, people aren't at him as a person, they're looking at him for some other odd reason. They're looking past like his actual personality. And yes,
Yeah,
Naruto is obnoxious and rambunctious and he like, does things that are very rebellious like painting the statues of the Hokages or whatever. Like he's a very rebellious character, and it's because
yeah.
he thinks that's the only way to get attention is by being obnoxious. And that's kind of sad to think about, but also like that's the only way he can get people to like interact with him, even if it is in a
Like
more
he,
miserable light.
yeah, like he knows like they won't talk to him, so he kind of has to force them to do so, no matter what it
Yeah,
costs. Yeah. I don't know. Like it's such a good show because like it's goofy, it's funny at times, and then it's got this like very intense like on the edge of your seat fight scenes, and then it's got this very like stabbing you and hitting you right in your feels, and you're like, I didn't want to feel like this today, but I do,
I
you
know.
know?
Like I will say the most emotional scenes are in Shippuden. Like I will say that
Okay.
like right here, right now. Like I actually started bawling at one of the episodes because it was just so emotional. I won't say which one because again, like I think you should definitely experience it for yourself. But there's just so many like moments like that where just like you said, it like hits you in the feels just right, where like you let out all this emotion that you didn't think you had before. And people might disagree, like people might say like there's other emotional shows or whatever. And
Yeah.
again, like I know some people get taken aback by the, dragged out fight scenes and everything, but again, like it just goes to show like the whole like power of like very detailed storytelling and emotional connection with characters.
Yeah.
And like as a wannabe author, like I kind of want to do that myself because there's like I've written part of a book and I want to finish it at some point, but I have characters that hopefully I can get people to relate to or connect with at some point as well because like I find that kind of storytelling just so fascinating. Like it's why I like Spider-Man. And again, it's another version of storytelling where it's comic books or movies. You see this kid that gets powers and I think of myself like that's probably what I would do if I was given powers out of nowhere. I'd probably first try to earn money, and then if some tragedy came across, like it's like, okay, well, I have this power, I could have used it for good or whatever. But, I'm hoping if anyone really ever got powers like that, they would choose to use it for good things, but
Oh
you
yeah.
never know.
I would hope so. Um.
Actually, yeah, because I don't think we touched upon this yet. Or I think you kind of briefly mentioned it, but what was the first anime you watched? Because I remember
Oh.
mine.
Um. I believe the very first was definitely um Seven Deadly Sins with Garion on his birthday.
Okay.
Because I didn't really watch Tokyo Ghoul until Alex mentioned it. But Alex mentioned it because like I first watched anime with Garion, even though I absolutely despised anime. And
Oh, really?
yeah, like I didn't like hate it, but like I just was like I went with everybody else's like opinion. Like if someone's like, "Oh, the anime's stupid," I go, "Yeah, you're right," because I had never seen it. So I'm like, "Well, if someone says it's stupid, then it's probably stupid." So I agreed with him on it.
I was gonna say, I have to admit, like, my, so that's kind of where my impressions came from the start, because my first experience with an anime, which arguably wasn't the best first experience, but and I was told this by many people, but my first experience was Sword Art Online. Just picture Ready Player One,
Uh,
but the all the players that joined are trapped inside the world through their neuro like thing that like traps them in the actual world. And the creator did this for some psychotic experiment, but basically he said if you die in the game, the device will kill you in real life. So if you die like in real life. And
ooh,
like I thought that was an interesting concept and I thought it
I
was kind
like
of
that.
cool, but then nearing the end it gets perverted and weird and like I
Oh
don't know.
no.
And again, people will probably like maybe I have a shallow outlook on this. Maybe I could go back and rewatch it and actually enjoy it for what it is cuz there is some like moments of romance like where two characters actually do love each other and express that to one another, and I liked that part, but it's when it got to like the perverted scenes or whatever and I'm like,
Hmm.
"Okay, well, I'd rather not," but you know, and
I'll just
again, it
skip
gets
through.
yeah, and it kind of gets weird, and I don't know. Like I finished the first season, and then that's kind of what put the bitter taste of anime for me. Like that's because here's the thing: like we're American, and Japanese is a very different culture. So to them, that probably wasn't as weird because that's like
Their way.
yeah, that's their way. Like, and I don't judge them off that. Just to me, that was weird. Like I think like you know like for me that was weird because that's just what I grew up knowing is like okay, well
Yeah,
that's weird, and I don't
like
really
that's
enjoy
just
that.
not right. Yeah,
Yeah. And I wouldn't even call it like not right or like wrong. It's just like to me that's weird, or to me
yeah, just
that's,
for your morals. Yeah,
yeah. It's not very appealing either, but to some people it probably is, and that's fine. Like everyone, to each their own. Everyone enjoys what they want, and I gotta probably preface this as well, like before people like tear into us in the comments, like if this ever becomes a popular episode, but these are our opinions, so like understand that, and
please don't
you
take it
can give.
seriously.
I was to say you can give us recommendations in the comments, or like be like, okay, you should try it again, like especially now that I'm older because I was like a teenager when I watched that show and I'm now an adult, so maybe I would have a better understanding of the show, but who knows?
Actually, while you were talking about that, I just remembered it wasn't with Garion. I didn't watch anime for the first time with Garion. I watched it with my brother's friend, or my brother's friend's brother, who was my
Mhm.
age, over at his house. We were watching Dragon Ball Z on the TV.
Ah.
But like, I only remember a little bit. I remember riding my bike down to his house because it was literally down a hill. Rode my bike down to his house. Ran in, literally just runs into. I just run into his house. I don't knock. I don't do anything. I run into his house, open his door, run in. I go up his stairs, go up into like the like little, like they have two living rooms, like a kid lounge living room type, small little den thing. Um, and they had a little small cube television. And we were watching Dragon Ball Z on the TV, and it was me, my brother, his friend, and then my friend who was also the other brother. But we were all just sitting there watching Dragon Ball Z. But I only watched like few episodes, and then I guess my brother and I just stopped being friends with them for some reason. I don't know, but
Okay. Yeah, I mean it happens sometimes. Like me and my brother had similar friendships, like in other neighborhoods, like where we were friends with them, and then like anytime there was like a long period of time of us not communicating, it's like okay, well, I guess we're just not friends anymore.
yeah, we
But
just stopped talking.
yeah, no. Now that I think about it, like I would say the holy quote unquote trinity of anime would be Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, and then probably One Piece. Like I think those are the three biggest animes if I had to guess. Like
Yeah,
cuz
let's look
those
that
are
up.
the
I'm curious now.
Yeah, I mean like yeah, definitely do some research. I guarantee you Dragon Ball Z though is the number 1 for sure. And I'm sure like probably right after that is One Piece and then probably Naruto, but you know, I'm
Damn,
still
you were really close, -1.
really
Yeah, you were one away. And I actually have a T-shirt of this anime. I've never seen it, but my grandma, or not grandma, what was it? My aunt or someone in my family bought me the T-shirt thinking it was Naruto, but it wasn't Naruto.
oh no.
Yeah, they're like, "Hey, this is that Naruto show you watch, right?" And I go, "No, it's not."
What show is it?
Anyways, you got One Piece, you
That's the
got
number
Naruto.
1?
Number one is not is One Piece,
2
then
is
Naruto,
Naruto?
Naruto,
Really?
and then Bleach.
Oh. Weird. I thought Dragon Ball would be at the top.
It says the top three of all time are One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach.
Jeez. Well, maybe I'll have to give Bleach a go. I've been recommended Bleach a couple of times. In
Me
fact, I
too.
think one of them
I
was
was
by
like, eh.
Garen.
I was like, it
Yeah.
looks a little weird to me, but okay.
I honestly don't know what it's about, so I'm willing to give it a try. There was also a vampire one. I can't remember what it was called, but they added a character from that anime to Call of Duty back in Modern Warfare 2, I think. Um, and he was like, yeah, like he was like a vampire hero inside that anime, I guess. And
Okay.
that seemed interesting to me, so I was willing to give that one a shot. And then the last one that I was recommended was Demon Slayer. Like I heard Demon Slayer was good, but I have yet to watch.
Um, I was just thinking of one, but I forgot what it was. Oh, some people have recommended Castlevania to me, but I don't know how to feel
I
about it.
I grew up with that game like as a kid. Like I grew up with that video game, but I don't know, like it didn't seem as violent as it does in the show cuz I mean like obviously it was like an 8-bit game, so like it's not going to be super violent or anything, but like I don't know, to transition from my childhood to like bloody murder in a show, like I don't know, that kind of threw me through loop as well. Like I was like, I don't know, like I don't think it would ruin my childhood, but it'd be like, wow, I see this game in just a whole different light. But I remember
Yeah.
enjoying the classic games as a kid, so I don't know. Like maybe I would go and try it, but not 100%.
You probably remember hearing all about Attack on Titan?
Yes, but I'm in the minority and I don't like monster films. So I don't like Godzilla, I don't like King Kong.
Uh,
I do like Pacific Rim, but that's only because the humans are the heroes still technically.
so you don't like movies where like the monsters are the good guys,
Well, and it's not
or
even that. It's just like they're the main focus. Like I don't like destructo films just for the sake of being destructo films. Like I don't like
oh, okay.
mindless action like that. And that's okay if some people do. Like I understand that. Like
I
I like Transformers, which I don't know if is like kind of hypocritical of me, but I don't like I don't like movies like King Kong and Godzilla, but yeah, and Attack on Titan, I would compare that to like obviously the characters aren't Titans themselves or main characters at least. I mean, I know there's one character that can transform into a Titan, but
hmm
that's besides the point. Like I don't like I think the smallest monster, mindless monster I would go with is probably like the werewolf. Like if there was a movie about the werewolf, I would probably do something like that. Or even Hulk, like Hulk's a
Hmm.
mindless monster. Like I wouldn't completely consider him like super destructo, but he can be. So I don't know. Like I think that would be kind of my tier list in terms of like or um my thoughts on that genre of like storytelling, I guess. Like I don't like yeah, big old destructo films.
Which is understandable.
Yeah. I mean, again, like to each their own, and I'm sure there's a lot more depth to you know,
Like,
Attack on Titan than I'm like, describing, but like even my brother, like he's a fan of Attack on Titan. He told me the ending sucked, and I'm like, I don't know if I would want to
okay,
go through something that I didn't want to watch and then
just
just like end it with something,
bad.
like disappointing. Yeah. So like, and I don't know if that's entirely true or whatever, but like, I mean, that's again that's what put that sour taste of My Hero for me is like it just like it didn't seem appealing after like knowing that it could potentially have a bad ending. Like not bad as in like everyone like dies or something, but like just a disappointing ending. So,
What do you think about Death Note?
I have not seen that, but it does seem like an interesting concept. It's like a guy that gets a journal that he writes the name of the person and then they're killed by that like monster spirit thing.
Yeah, like I've never fully seen it either. I only bring it up because trying to bring up shows that I think are interesting to see if you've seen them, and if not, then I will still give them a watch. But you
Yeah,
know,
I'll even list off the animes I've watched. And actually, one of these is surprising, but kind of not. Like, I should have kind of guessed it was an anime from the get go. But so I've watched Sword Art Online, Fairy Tail, Naruto, My Hero, and then Pokemon. Pokemon was the big
mm,
surprise for me. Like, and I actually really enjoy Pokemon. I just didn't consider it anime or consider the fact that it could be an anime at the time, but
oh, yeah.
it was.
Like
Made it.
I like Pokemon. I grew up with Pokemon, but not like I don't want to say grew up with and everyone be like, "Oh, well, so you know this and this and this." No, I don't. I grew up liking Pokemon. I grew up liking the concept of it, but like I'm also the same person who grew up with Yu-Gi-Oh and what was it, Black Magic, or is that what it's called? Or the game Magic, that's what it's called. Um
Yeah, it's like
so
Magic the Gathering or something.
like I grew up like with that type of stuff. I mean, granted, I was more into Magic and the Gathering than I was Yu-Gi-Oh, but I do remember playing Yu-Gi-Oh on my friend's front porch and just playing it right in front of his door. So every time his parents opened it, we had to like act like the battle scene was real and move. Um, um, but no, I think Pokemon was cool. I remember playing Pokemon on my Wii. And then I think I played it on the DS, I believe, maybe. But no,
Yeah, I think I remember the Game Boy. Like I know there was
yeah,
like Pokemon Red or something.
yeah. But I think it was cool. I think it was a cool game. I have played I don't know if it's the newest game, but I played uh Scarlet and Violet. I played those games from Pokemon. Those are really cool. It's a really cool art style and concept. I was really that's one that really got me into it because you go around and you just collect Pokemon and you battle against other Pokemon. That's basically the whole game, and it's really cool. But um, it kind of
Yeah,
drew me
I
back into it.
I would say the last it wasn't the last game I played, but it was the last card pull I did, and that would be Sword and Shield. And I, funny enough, got both the Sword and Shield Pokemon from the pull, like so. That was pretty
Nice.
cool for me. But yeah, no, that was the other thing too, is I'd collect Pokemon cards more than anything. Like, I mean, I'd like to try and play Pokemon games again, but Pokemon cards was kind of my thing more so than the
Mm.
games. And then my brother was kind of both, like Gabe, he was kind of both. He played the Game Boy, and then he also played or he didn't play the card game, but he card collected like I did. But I
Yeah.
card collected because of the TV show. So, and I know the games are phenomenal. Like, I've heard so many good things about the games, and only good things about the games. Like, I think the only thing I would say is it's like Nintendo's equivalent to Call of Duty, because each one comes out with like just a handful of new things, and then the rest is just about the same in terms of like gameplay and whatnot. And I get that, but at the same
Yeah.
time, like, I play Call of Duty and I like Call of Duty, so I'm not gonna sit here and like crap on Pokemon having a similar take. But I think adding new Pokemon isn't exactly a wrong thing either.
It's just repetitive, you know. It's just like I feel like it's just lazy. They're like, I don't want to make a whole new game. It takes too much time and effort. We don't have that. We need money quick. Let's just, make up this Pokemon or whatever and just throw it out there, call it a day.
Yeah,
But
and I mean, like,
I'm not trying
and
to,
I
I'm not trying to dog on it. I'm just like, that's just the way I also feel the way. I feel the same way you do about it. But
Yeah, and I mean, again, like, I'd be willing to give them a shot. I've never really done it before. Like, I think the only like I played a little bit of Pokemon Red, I think, or Scarlet or whatever it is um on the Game Boy, but I think the main game that I really played was Pokemon Go, and that was because that was like all the hype when, like, it was a game that you could play in real life and all that. And like, that was the appeal of it. And I thought that was kind of cool because I've always had a thing for games that include like companion characters. Like, in Halo it's Cortana, or in Destiny it's your ghost. In, like, those kinds of games I really enjoy, cuz you have a little character that's like your right-hand man. And I don't know, I like that appeal. Like, I've always, and like, even like with pets, like our dogs or cats or whatever, they're like right-hand mans or men or whatever. Like,
yeah,
they're just our little sidekicks, and I like that. Like, I like that concept in terms of like, characters or games or whatever. So what about you though? I've been talking a lot.
oh no, you're fine. I I don't know. I've been wanting to like I'm trying to pick an anime to watch because like that's my thing. I like to bounce between from show to show to show. So
Mhm.
like I'm trying to find one specific anime to just fully watch all the way through, not go from this anime to this anime and then be like tired of this one and go to that one. I want to only watch like tunnel vision on one project and finish it. Um,
I would recommend Naruto or My Hero then. That's just me though. Like, people in the comments, maybe you could like give us some help, like, on what he should like try next, cuz those are like the big two that I watched. I've tried One Piece and I thought it was okay. Like, I didn't get super far, but I got far enough
yeah,
into it where I like, you know, I don't know. Like, I couldn't continue it knowing there was like 1,000 episodes to go after the fact. And I'm like, okay, I'm good. Like, I don't know how they plan on doing the live action show, to be honest. Like, I don't know how they plan on recreating that whole series through live action while keeping the characters
yeah,
looking the same. Like, I know they age at some point, but like, the characters stay young for a while. Like, and I mean, if you look
yeah.
at
In the
characters
show,
like,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, look at like Ash Ketchum. Like he's still young. Like they didn't do an adult version of him yet. Heck, I don't even
Yeah,
think they introduced his dad.
yeah, people are saying that like he's like a biologically made person, and he like was made to like never get old.
Which is like an interesting theory and all, but I feel like that's just such a weird out of left field thing to do in a world
Yeah,
full of creatures that literally fight each other for competition, and it's literally a
yeah,
way of life in that universe. Like it's not just like something to do for fun, it's a sport that like everyone participates in. So, well, we've hit our hour mark. Do you have any last regarding marks, or do you want to outro us?
Um, well, I mean, obviously they gotta drop a follow on your YouTube channel or subscribe or whatever. At multi hyphen might. Don't you dare forget the hyphen. It's important.
Yeah.
Um, but you guys are also clearly here on his Twitch channel, and you guys already know where to find it, so that's just perfect. Um, mine, I have a Twitch channel. It's Griffin Shock. Um, and you can just check that out. I play a couple like single player games more. I play a little bit here and there Fortnite, but right now I'm gonna try to. My buddy here, Tyler, actually suggested me start from the first Batman all the way over to all the way through the last, and I'm gonna try to start doing that process. And even though I don't really care for a couple of the like some parts of both of them, I'll still make it through. Um, but you can check those out. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Can you?
I mean, you forgot to wait. Did you say you did say your Twitch channel? But you didn't recommend your YouTube channel as well. He has a
Oh,
YouTube channel. Um, but yeah, no. And go check out our sense of humor YouTube channel.
podcast.
Like, so you can go watch past episodes and don't miss a single one.
Yeah,
Um,
even though it's 27 long, but
I guess technically 26 because we did delete one for personal reasons, but
oh yeah,
um,
that's true.
that's besides the point. We hope you guys enjoy this though, because we definitely do.
Yeah.
We both love coming and talking on every Saturday just to chillax and relax with one another and whatnot. So, it's fun and it's always a pleasure. Like talking as friends, not just through topics, but just genuinely getting to know one another. Like even more so than we already did from like high
hmm
school and whatnot. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of anything better way to end it there.
Alrighty, outro us
But
out.
outro us out. Oh, catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace.